Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we are going to work on the image gallery website. Now, the best part about this image gallery website is that we don't have to build the entire page from scratch because we have our template that we built last time. Now, we don't want to mess up our template, right? We don't want it to be, we don't want to overwrite all of the things that we've written here. So instead of, manipulating all of this stuff, let's back up. Let's go back to my REPLs. And over here on the template project, click the three dots and click fork. Forking will allow you to create a copy of a project you've already worked on. So let's change the name here. Instead of template, let's call this image gallery. Okay, so now I have a copy of my template and we're calling it image gallery. So let's set this up the right way. First of all, I want to change this to image gallery. All right. And let's see. I don't actually want all three here, and I actually don't want my footer either. So I'm going to get rid of my footer. And I'm going to get rid of two of these divs. Okay. I only want one div in the middle. Now, column.side is not going to work for us anymore. So we need to create a new custom class in here. And instead of column.side, let's do column.full. And width will be equal to, no, width is 100%. And we'll just do background color white. That works for me. Now over here, let's change that div. Where is it? Right here. To column full. All right, let's run that and see what we have. Okay, so now we have our image gallery, our navigation bars, and then we have our content section here in the middle. Now, all of the images that we create, we're going to put in this content section here. Okay, so I'm going to give myself some space here. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. Now, first thing we need to do is let's create a div for our image to, oh, hello. That's not what I wanted. Why are you, oh, because it's not recognizing my, and inside this div, we are going to put something. Let's see, what do we want inside the div? Okay, let's talk about the behavior of our images. We want our images to be we actually want them to be image links. So when I click on the image, it opens up the full scale version of that image. So we're going to start with the anchor element here. And we're going to set it to target equals underscore blank, which if you remember last term, we explored what target blank does. It essentially opens up that link in another tab, which is what we want. Now, we want at least 10 images in our image gallery. And before I started this project, I actually went out and found a bunch of Cyberpunk images for the game Cyberpunk 2077. Now, all of these images, I've named them so that they're easier to see. Notice that they're all the same aspect ratio. They're all 600 by 400. I did that on purpose so that it makes the coding a little bit easier. And in order to find images that are 600 by 400, you literally just go to Google, type what you're looking for, and then type 600x 400, and then filter it by image searches, and it'll only pull up images that are 600 by 400. It's a pretty easy, pretty cool trick. Okay. So let's finish writing this anchor element. So I want the href to equal the actual picture file, JPEG. So the href is going to equal the picture file, which means when I click on it, it's going to open the picture file in a new tab, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And then inside that anchor element, let's create an image element. Let's push this out of the way a little bit. The image element, src equals cp1.jpg. We'll say the alt and, you know, picture, fine. Let's set the width equal to 600 and the height equal to, what did I say, 400? 400. Okay. We've got to finish off our anchor element. All right. And that's good to go. Now, I also want something below the picture to add as to be a caption. So I'm going to create another div in here. And let's see, and I will just say a description of the image. Okay. All right, let's run that and see what it looks like. Okay, so we have a big picture here, and then it says a description of the image. Now that's not exactly what I want, right? Because I want it to be a little thumbnail. So now we need to get into styling. We need to style it properly. So let's go over to our style.css. Let's go down to the bottom. And let's think about what we actually want this to do. We want it to shrink down a little bit. And hold on one second. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties there. So let's talk about what we want this to do. First, we want to have a kind of a border around our image. We want the image to be smaller, and we want whenever we hover over it, we want that to kind of change a little bit so that it looks like we're hovering over it. So let's fix, all right, let's create a new class. We're going to apply this gallery class to divs. So we're going to say div.gallery, and let's put a border around it. Border 1 pixel and solid, and let's do, okay. And let's see. We should apply that div to our image element there. Yeah, let's apply that div to this div right here. All right, let's see what happens. So now when I run that, I have my 1 pixel border, which is what I'm looking for. Okay. One second. Okay, good. All right, now let's change the hover property. So we'll do div.gallery hover, so that whenever I hover over it, then the border will change to a 1 pixel solid. And you know what we should do, actually? Let's do this as 777, and up here we'll do CCC. All right, now let's try that. So now it's like CCC, and then when I hover over it, it kind of selects it. It puts a darker border. That looks better. I like that better. Okay, now let's fix this issue with the image being so giant. Let's set the width to 100%. Oop, there we go. And the height to auto, which remember is going to allow us to scale the image as we go. Okay, that's helpful. Let's change the description as well, div.description, and we'll give it some padding, 15 pixels, with a text align of center. All right, and we need to apply that class to our description. Okay, we'll run that and see what that looks like. That looks a whole lot better. All right. Okay. Then we need to set a responsive. We need to create a class called responsive so that we can actually put these images together, because we're not just building one image. We're actually building a bunch of images all together. And I think I need to put this inside of another div. I think I need another div over here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tab this in. I'm going to create a new div. So I'm basically just wrapping this inside of another div. Okay. And then I'm going to create a responsive class. I wasn't thinking far enough ahead. We're going to create some padding. We're going to say 0 on the top and bottom, but 6 pixels on the left and right. We will float this to the left, and let's set the width to, we don't want to do 25%. So, because that one little extra pixel is going to cause an issue. I want 4 of these, to go across the page at once. So let's do 24.99999. Sure, whatever. Okay. All right. So now let's apply that responsive div, or that responsive class, to this div so that it's a bit smaller and it will change based on the scaling of the web page. And it does. Okay, perfect. And when I click on it, it takes me to the full version of that picture. Great. Okay, what else do we have to do? There's one more thing that I have to do. I have to... Oh, no, actually, you know what? I don't have to do that. So at this point, we have everything we need. Now I can just basically, let's see, where are we going here? So that's the column itself. So we don't need to copy that part of the div. Oh. All right. So this whole section right here, if we were to copy that and paste it, we would have 2 pictures now. Okay, and we can change the picture. Let's change that to 2.jpg. 2.jpg. And let's just keep going. 3.jpg. 3.jpg. And 4.jpg. 4. And I lost my, there we go. And we'll do 5. Let's just do 5 for now. We can add more of these in a minute. I just want to see what this looks like. So we'll run that. So now we have 5 images on the page. Well, this is pretty great. This is pretty great. So obviously you're going to want to add descriptions. You know, put a full 10 images on the gallery. But this is a fully responsive image gallery. The images will change as we, you know what? I do want to do this. So this is what I was looking for. You notice how this fifth image is all the way over here on the right? We need to actually create something. Let's create a clear fix. And what this is going to do is basically reset our content after the end of the column. Let's see if that works. Nope. It didn't work the way I thought it was going to. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. We actually don't need to do that. Just ignore that piece. We'll just keep adding images. That's fine if they float all the way to the right. Well, what you could do actually, never mind. Now that I'm thinking about it, we've already set this up so that it basically is its own row. So let's only add 4 elements. Let's only add 4 images per row. And we can add a completely new, yeah, right? Yes. We can add a completely new section of these. So now we have 2 rows full of images, which is what we want. Okay, so that's how we're going to handle more than 4 images on our page. Beautiful. This looks fantastic. Okay, so you continue fleshing out this image gallery, continue making it look as good as possible. Once you're done, go ahead and turn it in, and I will see you next week when we work on our final project for the class.